watching Envy and then OpTic. That 1.5 year span when we were Envy and then went to OpTic and then had the whole 2022 on OpTic was easily, in my 14 years of competing, the best time of my life. Hands down, the best time of my life. It was so much fun. Even with the old lineup, even with Mame and all of those guys. It was so fun. Like, even before we got Ye, before we got Crashies, before I got Victor, it was such an enjoyable experience. Like, my entrance to Valorant was so enjoyable. Like, learning the game, learning the agents, creating strats, watching other teams and see what they do, getting to like play against other players from other games, you know, because the game was new and all these like COD players are playing and Fortnite players were playing. It was very, very fun. You Envy as an org? Yes. I loved where I was. Like, I loved living in Dallas. I also loved where the location of the facility was. And I enjoyed the way things worked out for us. But even when we like went there to boot camp and like play matches, it was just great. It was such simple times, honestly. The game was just not complicated. You go to the facility, you play online matches, you go home, right? It was very like straightforward. Everyone kind of got to do things that balanced out their lives, right? And then obviously franchising. After franchising was when shit got real, because you have to move to LA, you play on stage every week, etc. You know, at the beginning of Valorant, you had literally qualifiers. The game was played like eight hours a day, basically. Like, you're actually competing in tournaments for like 8 hours a day sometimes, because you're playing like a couple BO3s. Do you miss the pre-franchising era? Yeah, of course. I've always said qualifiers, especially like online or LAN, qualifiers in general allowed so many more teams to be involved and so many more surprises to like take place. And you can actually see like, oh my god, like this team is good. You could actually recruit players based off those matches as well, you know? It was just more opportunities for all the players. But it was also, that's just not how it works now. But I do miss it. Surprises are bad for viewership, and you should never be watching Valorant if that's what you think. There's a surprise every year still. That's how esports should be, no? Kind of similar to Fortnite. I mean, it's different tastes, right? Some people prefer to have some consistency. Like, they want one team to dominate for a bit, then another team to dominate for a bit. But that's just never how this game is going to work. And that's okay. I prefer when the game changes, not the game changes, but when the best team doesn't stay the best team for longer than 2 months. Like, I like that.